November 24, 1971. A quiet man boards a commercial airplane in Portland, Oregon. He's wearing a dark suit, a white shirt, and sunglasses. To everyone around him, he looks like an ordinary businessman. But within a few hours, he will hijack the plane, collect $200,000 in ransom, jump into the freezing night with a parachute, and vanish without a trace. His name, or at least the name he used, was D.B. Cooper. More than 50 years later, investigators still don't know who he was, or whether he survived a jump. This is the story of the only unsolved airplane hijacking in American history. And possibly the perfect crime. It was the afternoon before Thanksgiving. Portland International Airport was busy with holiday travelers. At 2 p.m., a man approached the ticket counter and bought a one-way ticket to Seattle. The ticket cost just $20. He paid in cash. The name he wrote down was Dan Cooper. He boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. The aircraft was a Boeing 727 carrying 36 passengers. After takeoff, Cooper calmly ordered a drink, bourbon and soda. He smoked cigarettes and waited. No one suspected anything unusual. But hidden in his briefcase was something that would soon change everything. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a small folded note to a flight attendant named Florence Schaffer. At first, she assumed it was just a phone number. She slipped it into her purse without reading it. Then Cooper leaned toward her and said quietly, "Miss, you'd better read that note. I have a bomb." Inside the note were simple instructions. It said, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I want $200,000 by 5 p.m. for parachutes and a fuel truck ready when we land." To prove he was serious, Cooper opened his briefcase slightly. Inside, the flight attendant saw red cylinders and wires, what looked like a bomb. Panic could have spread through the cabin. But Cooper remained calm, almost polite. The flight attendants informed the cockpit. The pilots immediately contacted air traffic control. Authorities decided to cooperate. They didn't want to risk the passengers' lives, so the plane continued flying toward Seattle, while police and the FBI prepared the ransom. Meanwhile, Cooper sat quietly in seat 1HC. He chatted casually with the flight attendants. He even paid for his drink. At one point, he told them, "I don't have a grudge against your airline. I just have a grudge." No one knew what that meant. But one thing was clear. This man had planned everything carefully. When Flight 305 landed in Seattle, the authorities were ready. They handed over $200,000 in cash. That's equivalent to more than $1.5 million today. The money was given in $20 bills. Each bill had its serial number recorded, just in case the money ever appeared again. Cooper also received 4 parachutes, exactly as he demanded. Once the ransom was on board, he allowed the passengers to leave the plane, but he kept the pilots and a few crew members. Then he gave the next order: take off again. Cooper instructed the pilots to fly toward Mexico City, but with very unusual conditions. He demanded the plane fly at only 10,000 feet, with the landing gear partially down, at a slow speed of 200 miles per hour. These instructions confused investigators later, because they suggested something surprising. Cooper might have had aviation knowledge, as the plane flew south to fighter jets secretly followed it, but they kept their distance, so Cooper wouldn't notice. Inside the plane, Cooper prepared for the most dangerous part of his plan. The Boeing 727 had a unique feature: a set of stairs at the back of the plane. They could be lowered while the aircraft was still flying. This design would soon become famous because of what Cooper did next. At around 8 p.m., somewhere over the forests of Washington state, Cooper ordered the crew into the cockpit. He wanted to be alone. Moments later, a warning light appeared in the cockpit. It indicated the rear stairs had been lowered. The pilots felt a sudden change in air pressure, and that was it. D.B. Cooper had jumped into a freezing storm over dark wilderness, carrying $200,000 in cash. Authorities launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Hundreds of soldiers searched the forests, helicopters scanned the mountains, divers checked nearby rivers. But they found nothing, no parachute, no equipment, no body. It was as if Cooper had vanished into thin air. The FBI began a massive investigation called NORIAC, short for Northwest Hijacking. The case would remain open for decades. 9 years later, in 1980, a young boy named Brian Ingram was digging in the sand near the Columbia River. Suddenly, he discovered something strange: bundles of decaying cash. When investigators examined the bills, they confirmed something shocking. The serial numbers matched the ransom money. Nearly $6,000 from Cooper's stash had been found, but the rest of the money and Cooper himself were still missing. Over the years, the FBI investigated hundreds of suspects. Some were criminals, some were military veterans, some even confessed, but none could be proven to be D.B. Cooper. In 2016, after 45 years, the FBI officially closed the investigation. The mystery remained unsolved. Some believe Cooper died during the jump. The weather was terrible, and the terrain was extremely dangerous. Others believe he survived and quietly lived the rest of his life under new identity. If that's true, he may have pulled off the perfect crime. A man hijacked a plane, took $200,000, jumped into the night, and disappeared forever. More than 50 years later, the question remains, who was D.B. Cooper, and did he survive? Or is he still out there, somewhere, smiling about the greatest unsolved mystery in aviation? History, text on screen. What do you think happened to D.B. Cooper?